In covering and exposing these leftist Democrat propagandists, it's rare that you see them actually saying the quiet part out loud. And what I mean by quiet part is this is Democrat leftist propagandist progressive Brian Tyler Cohen, and he's going to tell you my only goal, as a matter of fact, it's goal number 1, goal number 2, and goal number 3. My number 1 goal is to win. It's not to be right. My goal is to gain more power so that I can enact my agenda over others. Even those who reject my agenda, I want the reins of power so I can force my agenda down the throats of those who don't want it. So I need enough people so I can get more votes, so that I can win, so that I can have the power, so that I can enact my agenda. What if I said that to you? You would think that I was a madman. Now, to be fair, this is what politics is. People just want power over you. They want the reins of power because they want to control the horses. And what are they going to do with the horses of government? They're going to run over you. They're going to implement what they believe is good. They will have what they call good intentions. But like I've said before, what Daniel Webster said, good intentions will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority. Every desire for every psychopath who wants power says, hey, I'm doing this for good intent. I have good intentions. We're going to provide health care. We're going to combat climate change. We're going to put an end to gun violence. Yeah, well, what does it mean, for example, to put an end to gun violence? So, it means we're going to criminalize people who own, who possess, who want to buy or sell or transport guns that I don't agree with. AK-47 out, AR-15 out, high capacity magazines out. And if we catch you, we're going to criminalize you and we're going to throw you into jail and we're going to exact heavy fines on you because our agenda is you don't get guns. That's going to keep America safe. That's our agenda. Those are our good intentions. They will be pleaded for every assumption of authority. And it's hardly too strong to say that the Constitution is made to guard the people against the dangers of good intentions. There are men in all ages who mean to govern or control well, but they mean to govern or control. They promise to be good masters, but they mean to be your masters. And that's what Brian Tyler Cohen is going to say here. Listen very closely. He wants the votes. He wants to win. He doesn't care if he's right. He wants the power because he wants to control you and enact his agenda. Check this out.
Politics is just about building a coalition to get us closest to where we want to go so that we can see a political agenda enacted. It's not imposing purity tests or making sure that everybody who's part of our coalition is without any, without any problems or these perfect messengers. It just has to be bringing enough people so that we get more votes than the other side gets so that we can get ourselves as close to our agenda as humanly possible. Donald Trump has this right in the sense that it is only about winning. You get nothing from the minority.
Donald Trump is right.
It is only about winning.
It's only about winning. And why is it about winning? Because we want more people on our side. Why do we want more people on our side? So that we can have the power. And why do you want more power? Because we as the majority can then force our will on the minority. And of course, we're right. The other side is saying the exact same thing. So you have two warring factions in this perpetual fight and battle against each other, while the real owners of the RNC, the real owners of the DNC, the real owners of presidents and governors and congressmen and senators, the real owners, the banking and corporate elites, the Zio International Banking Cartel, who owns both sides of the equation. If you question that, just check out who AIPAC owns and who they fund, and the wars that are waged, and the debt ceilings that are raised, and the prohibitions they enact, and the dollars that they devalue. And they do this every administration, every 4 years, every 2 years. The value of the dollar always goes down. Individual rights are always eroded. The wealthy elitists even get richer. The banking cartels grow more powerful. And it's all because we're in this perpetual cycle of the left versus right paradigm lie that the Brian Tyler Cohens of this world want you to stay in. But wait, there's more.
especially in today's minority. There is no goodwill being conferred to the other side. And so the only goal here has to be gaining power so that you can help as many people as possible and enact as much of your agenda as you can.
There's no goodwill being conferred because politics isn't about goodwill. Politics is the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Politics and the voting process in specific is a demoralization, dehumanization, banker-promoted and controlled ritual to get you to believe that the answer to our problems is that we vote for a psychopathic political parasite.
And even if you are ideologically pure, even if your coalition is purged of anybody who's problematic, that doesn't get you anything at the end of the day. So when I look at the Barstools, sports guys, when I look at the Joe Rogans, when I look at the Dave Smiths, it has to be ego aside, welcome them into the coalition, because our goal here cannot be being right.
Ego aside, the guy who says, I just want to win. I just want to have the power. I want more people on my side. I want to be in the majority so that I can push my agenda. And then he says, ego aside. Sorry, if you want all that power and you want to take it onto yourself and to your party, that's nothing but ego, Brian.
That gets you nothing. Our goal has to be building up the coalition as big as we can so that we can get more votes than the other guys and we can get into power and enact our agenda. That is the only way we help people. That is the only way that we combat climate change. It's the only way that we expand access to healthcare. It's the only way that we can reduce gun violence. My ego, and I have an ego when it comes to this stuff. Like, I see these people and I want to say, fuck you. You knew this was going to happen, but my ego cannot matter. It has to only be about building up a coalition so that we get more votes so that we can enact our agenda.
A coalition of Democrats who have all the power. They have all the winnings on their side of the table. They've got the majority of the people and they're going to enact their agenda no matter what you say. This is what democracy is. That's what the founding fathers said. It's the tyranny of the majority. He wants to be the tyrant on the side of the majority. It's two wolves and a lamb sitting down and deciding what to have for dinner. He wants to be one of the wolves.
And I think that's the mindset I have to constantly check myself on, because I want to say to these people who were blatantly wrong, like, how could you not see this coming? We told you this was going to happen 100 times over. We said he wasn't a peaceful president. We said he was a grifter who was only going to look.
Just like Biden wasn't a peaceful president. Obama wasn't a peaceful president. Clinton wasn't a peaceful president. George W. and George H.W. weren't peaceful presidents.
Look out for himself. We said he didn't give a shit about the working class. We said he tried all of this stuff in his first term and didn't deliver on any of this. How could you not have seen this? But it can't be that. It has to be, there is room for you in this tent. There's room for you in this coalition.
In other words, he's going to be deceptive. Hey, there's room for the Joe Rogans in our tent, for the Barstool Sports in our tent. He mentioned those two specifically. Those people are diametrically opposed to the Brian Tyler Cohens, but he's going to kind of drop the barrier so he can just have the majority on his side. It's all about, that's why I said politics is the clever art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering. It is the art of deception. Pretending to be something you're not so that you can get something that's going to give you power so you can exercise that power and enact those agendas over everybody. And they've got no say in the issue because we're the majority.
Join us, vote against these people the next time so that you can help yourself. And that way we get into power. And that's the only thing in politics that has to matter. I know that all of this stuff is so close to our hearts. And when we see these mass shootings, it's so close to our hearts. When we see these assassinations, when we see healthcare get stripped away from people, when we see Social Security get put on the chopping block, all of that is close to our hearts. And it's hard not to feel emotional as the result of it. But we can't. We have to recognize that there is a strategic way to win. It is bringing people into the coalition so that we can get more votes and enact our agenda. And that has to be priority number 1, 2, and 3 at the end of the day.
So priority 1, 2, and 3, get the votes, acquire the power, and through violence, the violence and brutality and coercion and theft and extortion of the government, we are going to enact our agenda. He said the quiet part out loud. This isn't just the Brian Tyler Cohens and the leftist status of this world. The rightist status think the same thing. Both want the reins of governmental power because they want to enact brutal force, murderous force upon the rest of us. Oh, you want to be left alone under voluntarism? No, not going to happen. We have the reins of force and power, and you will bend to our will. That, in a nutshell, is what politics is. Thank you, Brian Tyler Cohen, for saying the quiet part out loud. I will see you in the next video.